Hello, I'm Robin Dinda, and this is my 1933 pinball machine, Silver Cup, by Genco. Let's take off the glass and look inside. So here's a view of Silver Cup. Let's start with an overall view. It's a big rectangular box. The entire unit is on a slight angle. It's on 4 legs. You have a play field with plenty of hardware, and you have a shooter over here. If you look at its much younger sisters, Tropic Isle from '62 and Matahari from '77, you'll see the same idea, a big rectangular box at an angle, in each case, play field full of hardware, and of course, in each case, a shooter to put the ball into play. You might notice that it also has a ball lift lever, which will be standard on pinball machines into the mid-1960s. So Tropic Isle has one, but Matahari does not. The overall feel of it is rather elegant. Nice dark color, nice little bit of scrolling here, attractive routing to show a different color wood, attractive beveling likewise. It's an attractive unit. The original coin door disappeared probably many decades ago, so I improvised one out of some poplar and some hardware I got at Home Depot, so it looks nicer. This is how you start the game. If you've ever wondered where pinball gets its name, wonder no longer. You'll see the play field is full of nice little pins. Pinball. They make a very delicate little musical sound when the balls hit them. Because the machine is all mechanical, it has no bells, no lights, nothing like that. It does have the famous totalizer. The Silver Cup label here I improvised out of some photos. But the name Silver Cup does coincide with the playfield decorations, a trio of silver cups. These silver cups are made out of cast aluminum, which is why they're still in such nice shape after more than 80 years. The famous totalizer is also cast aluminum, as is the tilter, as are these little diamonds here, and also the bouncer here. The pins themselves, I tested them with a magnet, so they're either zinc galvanized or nickel plated steel. These, probably zinc, and these ball guides are probably chrome plated, possibly zinc plated, nickel plated, and these nice little caps are either chrome or nickel plated steel. They're magnetic as well. Now let's see what happens in a game. In pinball machines at about this time and shortly before, these holes here would have been actually little cups. And so at the end of a game you might have, say, 3 balls here, you might have 2 balls here, maybe 4 balls there. And what you'd have to do is you'd have to do some math. So 3 times 5, and then 2 times 1,000, and so on. And so you'd not only multiply, but you'd also have to add it all together. Silver Cup doesn't have any actual little cups that you land balls into. Instead, you see the ball drains down holes in every single instance. So how do you keep score? Well, you keep score with the famous totalizer. And this is one of the earliest machines to have automatic scoring. It's fascinating to note that here, 1933, the arcade games are getting extremely sophisticated, but electricity starts to be introduced just the next year. So let's come over here. Let's go up here to this hole right here that says 400, and I'll put a ball down it. And after I put the ball down it, let's watch the totalizer here where it says 400. So here goes the ball. Watch the totalizer. Aha. So it scores 400. There you go. But what happens put a second ball? Let's put it in a different 400. Let's put it in this one. And there you go. So 2 balls will be 800. Let's do it in another one. I'll do it in this 400 way down here. And you'll see what will happen. There you go. So it's actually doing the multiplication for you. Let me come over here and let me find a 600. Here's a 600. There you go. So let's do another one. This time I'll do a 500. Let's go in this nice silver cup here. There's 500. And there you go. Notice the other thing, so it's doing the multiplying for you. So if you have 2 balls at 600, it's 1200, but it's doing something else. It's telling you how many balls you've played. So there we've played 2 balls, there we've played 1 ball, none, 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 and over here 3 balls. So we've played a total of 6 balls. And we know that we have 10 balls total, so you always know how many balls you've played. At the end of the game, you will add your entire score together, whatever you get. The other feature that this machine has is the little cups that close shut, the little trap. So take a look here, and you can see that it closes the trap, so the next ball can go right down it. Now these 2 traps on the outside, this one, that one, they don't really go anywhere, but these central traps, they are the holy grail of the machine. So if you can get the 600, that means that you can then go to the 800, and if you get that, the ball will roll over it, and then you can score 1000, and then if you get that, you can get the Holy Grail, which is double your entire score. So you have to get all 4 of those targets, and if you manage to get all 4, what you will get is the double, which is right there. Let me put the ball down the double hole. And there it is, double's entire score. Isn't that cool? So, if you manage to do that, and you still have a few balls left, you can still try to get it down that very narrow lane, because then it is to be hoped, go into the 1000 hole with this silver cup here. So the goal is to get as many balls in there as possible. No flippers. You can do some bumping, obviously, to try to guide the ball into the various targets in which you want it to go. One other exception to the whole thing is this little hole right here allows the ball to travel, and you get the ball over into the free play. So let's look at one other thing. If you're in an arcade or a bar in 1933, you might very well have some sort of a reward for a good play. Maybe you get an extra game, or maybe you get something of value. But what would happen is, obviously, people could tilt the entire machine. And pinball machines have always had a tilt mechanism, so you can't cheat that way. Now, this machine is not sensitive at all. If you bump it, it's not going to tilt. But if you decide to be a bad human being, what you can do is lift the entire machine up, and then, of course, you can get the ball to roll backwards. However, what we have here is the tilter. Elegant little design. And let's look what happens if you raise the entire machine, literally tilting it, and there you go. A little ball appears. So anybody who's supervising the games would say, you have been a naughty person, and no, you did not win the high score for the evening because you have done that. Shame on you. Obviously, though, that does require somebody to manage the games, and so electrically, this is all going to pass eventually. Let's look at something else, 1933. Remember, 1933 is when FDR was inaugurated, and look right here. You'll notice that this machine is an NRA member. No, that's not the National Rifle Association. That's the National Recovery Act. It's Roosevelt's New Deal. Although much of the New Deal was found unconstitutional, private corporations found it to be politically useful to put NRA stickers on their machines and to sign on to the New Deal. You might note that it also proudly announces that it has paid the necessary federal excise tax. So obviously, if you have government programs, you are going to have taxes to pay for them. So in 1933, that is exactly what had happened. So let's look what happens when you start a new game, because 4 things will happen. First of all, the tilt ball will be reset. All of the score reels on the totalizer will be reset. They're spring-loaded. All of these little caps that are now closed will reset, and of course all of the balls will go down into the area where the ball lift lever can access them. So all those 4 things happen at once. If I push very lightly on the start lever, you'll see the cups begin to move. Those little closed caps begin to move. So let's zoom out and let's notice that we're going to have the totalizer and the tilt and those caps, and listen carefully. to the balls as well. Here we go. There go the balls. You can hear them. The caps have gone up. The tilter is gone, and the score reels are a little stuck. There they go. Okay, so it is all reset, and that's what the machine is supposed to do. Now I'm going to reset it again just because that's so much fun. We already saw the caps pretty much. I'm going to center in on the totalizer and the tilter, and keep your ears open for the balls that will go into the ball lift lever lane. There they go. So you could see these two things and hear the balls, and of course all of the caps also managed to reset. What happens mechanically is one more thing. At the beginning of a game, the first time you push the ball lift lever, this happens. Listen very carefully. You heard that clang? What that clang was is the ball lift lever flips a little spring-loaded gate that falls behind the balls, so that when balls go off of out of play, they will not go back into the ball lift lever lane. That's so nice, I think we should do it again. Okay, so I'm going to cancel out the totalizer. You could hear the balls. Now listen, when I push the ball lift lever, you'll hear it, the gate slam shut. There it is. Okay, so now we're ready to play a game. And I'll just demonstrate this once. Look what happens when I shoot the ball. It will go around the playfield in an astonishingly graceful way. Except when I don't pull it back hard enough. Here we go. Isn't that pretty? Makes a musical sound, and there you go. Very nice. Okay, let's play a game. Okay, here comes the game. Obviously, in the real world, the playfield glass would be over the machine, so you can't fiddle with the ball. Here we go, ball one. Oh, that was amazing. $800, $400. There you go, 400. And almost 500. There you go, 500 points. I'm going to bump it a little, not quite hard enough. And 600. Little bump. Not quite. 500. Oh, that was too hard. Another 400. Oh, that's not good. It's a little clunky. It is mechanical. Ooh, that looks good. A little bump, too much. Come on! Oh, it bounced over both pegs. 400. I'm sure getting the 400s on this game. Bump. Aha! Ball stuck. Oh, there it goes. Being all mechanical, it can be a bit clunky, especially after 80 years. And bump past 400. Got it. And that is the end of the game, and I did not do well, but I got 2,400 here, plus 1,000, that's 3,400, plus 1,200 is 4,600. I only got one ball down there. But the game's a lot of fun, and I can wind up playing this for long periods of time. I love the very slight musical effect of the ball going down, hitting each individual pin. Each one is different. So So thanks for watching, and the rest of this video will be a few photos of my reconstruction of this machine.